Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience, week 1 of Faith in Action. We're going to have some fun today. Right, Ann?
That's right. You're in the right place at the right time, just where you are meant to be, whether you're live streaming or here in person.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh my soul is welcome here. Oh my soul is welcome here. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
You've Done Nothing Wrong is the talk by James and meditation by Reverend Deborah today.
I'm in the right place at the right time, right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome. Oh, my soul, everybody's welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome.
I'm getting the message.
I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Do you
Well,
feel it?
We can feel it. Can you feel it? It's a song like that, isn't it? Yes. Well, good morning, Reverend Deborah. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning, Reverend James. It's great to be here. Good to see you.
And our souls are welcome here. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And we greet you in the name of all that is good, all that is holy, and all that is sacred, and in the warm and loving energy of this community, Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center welcomes all people, and I got completely lost.
All right. It's all
Okay.
good.
Worshipping in
You
stone
never-
circles,
Nothing is lost in spirit. So.
cathedrals.
So you know what? I'm going to start over. We greet you this morning in the name of all that is good, all that is holy, and all that is sacred, and in the warm and loving energy of this community, Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and of course the beautiful temples of nature, because we know there's no space that God does not grace. And if you're with us for the very first time today, whether you are watching us online or here with us in person, we especially want to welcome you, because we know that you are not here by accident. We know that every one of us is here by divine appointment. And we're always just so thrilled to get together. And we're also really thrilled when you silence your electronic devices, and please refrain from flash photography during the service.
Well, it does take this time that we created that clearing to connect with the presence and do so. As we are reminded that we're always living and moving and having our beingness in something that we call God, but is known by so many different names. We come under His governance and His guidance and allow all of these qualities to be radiating from the depth of our being. For this presence and I and all of us are one. And as we recognize the qualities of this presence, including divine love itself, peace that passes all understanding, joy, wisdom, health, wholeness, vitality, and vigor, creativity, and all that is good and perfect, then we realize that we are in tune with the truth of who and what we are as divine beings and expressions of this presence. So we bless that presence. We bless the presence within us. We bless the possibilities that lie before us. And as we do, then we move from where we are to where we can be when we are at our highest and our best. And say this in the name and the nature of the Spirit of the living God that dwells in us all. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, we have a very important purpose here at Spiritual Life Center that's reflected in our mission statement. And I invite you to join in as we affirm it together. To transform lives, to make a positive difference in the world, as we love, serve, and remember. And we carry out that mission as we embody these 5 universal principles, unity principles, but they're universal principles in our life to the best of our ability. Again, let's speak them aloud together. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action. And one action is anyone born in the month of October to please stand. We want to acknowledge you with birthday song.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya.
Okay, all the October babies. Wednesday this week is the 5th installment of Pat Furlong's Awakening the Sage Within. And this is just an exploration of what it's like and what we can do to age gracefully and really be our higher selves as we go through that process. And, you know, he is an amazing facilitator. I'm so impressed, and it's such a wonderful conversation that we have. And, you know, it's a bunch of older people, but we've actually had a couple people under 50 in the room, and you know, they're learning something too. And so even if you haven't been before, you're still welcome to come. And I think you would really get a lot out of it. And so the community meal is at 6, and then the program starts at 7. And this one does go to 8:30, but he stays right on time. So we walk out of there right at 8:30. So we'll hope to see you here.
Yeah, Patrick is good. And I like to call us seasoned. You know, someone said that everything in life is impermanent. Nothing here lasts forever. And one of the things that symbolizes that is the Buddhist monks' mandala, in which they put together a magnificent tapestry of sand throughout the week and then dismantle it at the end of the week. So we're going to be hosting the monks, the Great Compassion, the Sand Mandala tour that they're on. They're going to be here at Spiritual Life Center from Wednesday through Saturday, October 16th through 19th. In person. So we invite you to come by, just observe them as they put together the mandala, and also maybe when they dismantle it at the end. It's a very spiritual experience for anyone who is part of it. I've been to a part of several of them over time.
And we are sponsoring them, and one of the requests that we have is that they're going to need to eat lunch and dinner. And so we are asking, you know, we're going to do that. We're asking anybody who would like to support that, you can make a donation out at the hub and just say it's specifically for feeding the monks. And we really appreciate all of those donations because, you know, we want to support them in that way. So just wanted to add that in there.
Yes.
So, Trick or Treat Cabaret. This is happening on Friday, October 25th. The social hour starts at 5 p.m. and the cabaret is from 6 to 8. And I believe, Paula, you've got a pretty full roster at this point?
I think so. I'm going to start putting that all together this week.
Okay, so, you know, if you haven't, how many people have not been to a cabaret? Okay, you need to do this because it is so much fun. Because we don't bring the professionals out so much. This is the people who sing in the shower. People are going, okay, I'm gonna try this and see what happens. And it's relaxed and it's real and it's fun. And so come on out for it. And you can go ahead and buy tickets for it today at the Hub. So.
Yes, I understand we're going to have the Shower Singers. That's the name of the group?
The Shower Singers.
Oh, the Shower Singers. Okay. Also, just to remind you that our Light the World Gala auction is continuing, our silent auction. And just want to remind you that one of the items being auctioned is the Soul Light Connection house concert that's going to be at Tom and Judy Christmas Home on June the 6th. Now, there are only 50 spots available for that, so you want to be, it's going to be awesome, but there's only 50 people that can show up, so you want to get there and sign up early. And for all the other items on the auction, I believe they're also in the
chapel.
In the chapel now, you can view them. There's lots of magnificent artwork that's available that you can preview, or you can also view them online. It's an important fundraiser for Spiritual Life Center, so we appreciate anything that you purchase at the fundraiser.
And I was also reminded that the art raffle, it's a raffle, so we cannot sell tickets online. So you can go into the chapel, see which pieces of art are up for the raffle, and buy your raffle ticket. If you want to look at it online, you can call us on the phone and buy a ticket that way. So, remember that the raffle works a little bit differently.
And we have Reverend Janae is going to come forward and do our youth update and some other fun stuff. So welcome,
Thank you.
Reverend Janae Marr.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you. It's so good to be up here with you today. I'm filling in for Elaine, and I just love giving these updates. So here we go. For those of you who attended the gala, how many of you were at gala? I was so thrilled that you all got to experience Mark Stanton Welch and his warm and heart-opening music. He's been working with our teenagers for over 30 years, and believe me, he has opened a lot of hearts. I want to thank all of you that supported our teens who were selling coffee and cookies out in the courtyard. Those funds went to hire Mark for our fall meetup, which was the day after gala. We had teenagers and sponsors here from Vacaville, Citrus Heights, Marin, and of course our own teenagers here at SLC, and they got to experience a concert with Mark as well. So it was really just a fabulous day. Our teens put on the meetup, and so I just want to thank everyone who made that possible. Our teens have their fall rally coming up on November the 2nd in Marin. And as a fundraiser, they're planning another Halloween haunted house. And for those of you that saw it last year, they plan to expand and enhance it this year. So they wanted to ask the congregation if you have any spare decorations that you'd be willing to loan or to donate. They would love to use them this year. I'm going to ask both Shay and Becky to stand up in the back of the room. They are at a table out in the courtyard. So if you have any scare to spare, please stop by and see them after service. Our nursery is growing and our little ones have a lot of fun under Shay's direction. And we've had some leadership changes in youth ed that I wanted to tell you about. Elaine Laroa is still our youth ed director, so we all report to Elaine. And we've recently welcomed Sherry Brucato as our new youth ed coordinator, and she is really amazing. There she is. Stand up, Sherry. Sherry used to be a teacher, and she brings a wealth of knowledge and heart to this program, and we're so happy to have her. Thank you, Sherry. Connie Vaughn is our youth ed assistant, and she's one of our floaters that helps us everywhere. And we've also welcomed Brandy Boonafay, and I hope I'm saying that correctly this service, as our YOU co-sponsor with Elaine Laroa. She's in with our teenagers right now, and she's also just brought such a beautiful energy. Ann Cinnamon and I still serve once or twice a month, and what an amazing team that we have. So If you have any desire to serve with our kids, please let us know. It's an amazing team, and we have a lot of fun, and I just personally think we have the best kids around. So I'm so grateful. And for those of you that have been waiting for this news, we're going to have our jewelry sale the first 2 Sundays in December. It's always a wonderful, fun event, and I want to thank all of you who've already donated jewelry. And just invite any of you that are cleaning out your jewelry boxes. If you have any used jewelry you'd like to share, we would love to receive that. So thank you, and I'll keep you posted about that. And now I'd really like to close by thanking 2 beautiful souls who stepped up into Youth Ed last summer when I took the summer off, and they have been serving ever since then. They are stepping out of Youth Ed and serving in other ways in SLC, and so I'd like to invite them up here for a blessing. And this is Joella Aragon and Beverly Aiken. And I want to, Joella would love to share a beautiful little reading with you this morning.
Thank you. You're welcome. Where I get all my information. This is from Rabbi Sandra Lawson. In Judaism, there's a teaching that emphasizes the importance of leaving a legacy and contributing to the betterment of the world, even if one does not have children. This idea is rooted in the concept of repairing the world, which encourages every individual to engage in actions that improve society and the world as a whole. One interpretation suggests that those who do not have biological children can fulfill the mitzvah, the commandment, to be fruitful and multiply by nurturing the world in other ways. This can be done through teaching acts of kindness, social justice work, or any other efforts that contribute to the flourishing of humanity and the world. The idea is that everyone, regardless of their circumstances, has a role to play in making the world a better place, and that this world has a meaningful legacy that can be as significant as having children. I am grateful to have fulfilled the mitzvah, my commandment, by nurturing the young people at SLC. I have been enriched by them.
Thank you. Do you guys want to come up and I am just so very grateful for the love and wisdom that both of these women have brought to our youth. And I would like us all to do our standard blessing, if we can all rise up and get that energy flowing into our hands and bless these 2 beautiful souls. Joella and Beverly, we love you.
We bless you.
We appreciate you. And we behold God's love as you. Thank you. Deep bow.
Thank you. Thank you, Janae, and thank you all those who support our youth ministry. It's such an important part of our community, so kind of a backbone for us to move forward.
I remember we always, we have many activities here at Spiritual Life Center that foster transformation in our lives. And so check out our small groups and other offerings. You can go to the courtyard, look at the bulletin board, read all the good stuff that's there, go chat with the ladies at the hub. And of course, everything you could possibly want to know about SLC is on our website.
And of course, one of the reasons folks come to a spiritual community such as Spiritual Life Center is to make connections with folks that are of like mind, who are growing, developing, unfolding in their own way. But we don't have to wait for a special event for that to happen. You can connect with somebody right here and right now. So in a manner that feels comfortable for you, turn to a friend or a friend-to-be and just say to them, "You are marvelous and glad you are here."
and a hush fell over the room. So we are going to sing our Faith in Action song, and for this year, we are going to sing a song that was written in 2020 during the lockdown, so we never sang it together as a congregation. This is going to be our Faith in Action song this year, I Am That I Am. So there are a lot of words full of metaphors, so you have 7 weeks to learn all of that. And there's lots of layers, too, so just find your place in there and just have fun with it.
You can sit or stand.
Either way, sit or stand. It's kind of a sit-down song, I think. Well, I don't know. Whatever you feel.
And a hush fell over the room.
1, 2, 3.
You guys might want to
Please join me in singing.
I am listening to the call of the universe, beckoning me to make my way home. I am opening to infinite divinity ever within me. I am not alone. I am listening to the call of the universe, beckoning me to make my way home. I am opening to infinite divinity ever within me. I am not alone. As the pull of the sun urges the blossom to come forth, I am that I am. As the ocean in a wave unceasing breaks upon the shore, I am that I am. As the archer bends the bow and gently lets the arrow go, I am that I am. As the beacon shining out from within the lighthouse glows, I am that I am. Oh, I am. breaking free. I am that I am. As the silence in the thunder reminds me to release, I am that I am. As the sweet relenting emptiness fills me to the brim, I am that I am. As the ultimate ending from which we all begin, I am that I am, I am, I am, I am.
Thank you, Soul Light Connection. I am that. Well, as you know, we are starting our first week of our Faith in Action series. And each year we take a book that we use as part of the guidance for the talks every week. Also, we have home study groups and questions and discussions around them. But also part of the Faith in Action series, we have a local artist who comes forth and presents their artwork that represents the theme for each week. And this week's, and starting us off, is the wonderful, radiating Louise Bezark. And this is what her art is. And we have the artist write a statement about their art, and this is what Louise wrote. The day I arrived at Spiritual Life Center in the early 2000s during Faith in Action, my journey of trusting the universe's plan for me accelerated. This bowl illustrates the first week's theme and chapters. It is also a testimony of the 20 years of lessons that allowed my fear and judgment-based thinking to recede as presence expanded. The two-sided panels represent the power of faith and wisdom as we travel the path. The main panel images show that being aware of the universe's plan can have a profound effect on life expanding as peace, happiness, creativity, and Zen. Matt Kahn sums it up with this statement. In order for me to be who I was born to become, life couldn't have happened any other way. Louise Bezark, her art for the first week of Faith in Action.
Before we read our vision statement, I just want to mention that a little story. So I was looking for the songs for this week, the perfect songs, and I was looking in my library, and I found the perfect song, My Evolution, written by Gwen Pearl. I called her, she's local, as you may know, and I asked her permission if Anne could sing the song, and she said she would be honored for that. And then I invited her to come and join us as well, and she's graciously accepted that invitation. So she will join us for our meditation chant and her song afterwards. So Gwen Pearl, thank you for being here. And now let us read our vision statement together. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet.
We invite you to join us singing this beautiful chant. Breathe in, breathe out. Please join me in singing.
Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe deeper in and breathe out. I know you're here with me. So I breathe. I am part of one, and one is everything, and everything is all there is, and all there is God. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe deeper in and breathe out. I know you're here with me. So I breathe. I am part of one, and one is everything, and everything is all there is, and all there is God. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe out, breathe in, breathe Just
And now take one more very conscious breath and exhale. And now just let yourself breathe naturally. Allow your body to relax. Drop your shoulders. Relax your eyelids. And as you just go with your breath, allow your consciousness to float up and up into a light daydream. In this daydream, you are looking at the palm of your hand, and you see your fingers, maybe the tips of fingernails, maybe some little scars or other marks. And then you look at the lines in your palm. And the longer you gaze at your hand, the more detail you begin to see. Like a zoom lens in a movie scene, you come in closer and closer and closer until the cells in your body, in your hand, are magnified. You find yourself surrounded by the millions of cells that make up that one small part of your hand. The cells are full of life and light. You can feel their energy. You can hear them humming as they live their lives. Now pick a cell and zoom right through those molecules into the atoms that make up this cell. They are active, vibrant, intelligent, conscious. There is a deep sense of peace. The energy at this level is beyond description. It is so pure that it feels as if you have fallen directly into the divine. And yet, there is complete inner stillness. As you float and drift in this incredible energy, something else happens, something interesting. The scene changes, and it's like you have turned around or looking at the whole of creation from the inside out. Everywhere around you, atoms and subatomic particles vibrate and shine and hum. They are life itself. They are consciousness. Turn again and start to zoom out. And now you start to see the patterns made by these atoms, the patterns of the world in which you live. Your vision clears, and now you see people and animals, plants, buildings, even the very air, as magnificent groupings of conscious atoms, all twinkling in the same light and love. You are at once an observer and participant in the divine soup of life. You experience yourself as you really are, a soul composed of the divine energy we call atoms. You are conscious. You twinkle. In this cosmic dance with the all, you are still within and at peace. And in this peaceful state, ignite your inner power as you float in the silence. Your inner power is awakened. It vibrates in and through your being. You know that you are an integral piece of a much greater whole that relies on your power. Do its part. You are still, you know. With gratitude for this quantum experience, take a breath and slowly zoom back out. With each breath, your physical world begins to coalesce, to put its skin back on. And as it resolves into your physical environment and you return to awareness, please receive this blessing. Oh, my beloved, there is no space that God does not grace. Every particle that creates your universe is imbued with the original divine idea, and your soul is an integral part of that divine idea. The divine idea is you. You are the divine idea. There is only one mind, one power, one heart, only one. Remember this, always.
I can feel it with each breath I take, through my smiles and laughter, through my tears and pain, pouring through me as it slowly unfolds me. It's the flow of my evolution. Oh, my soul keeps growing, it knows when it's time for change. There's a mountain meant for me to climb. At the peaks I listen, it'll be sublime. And every step along that pathway bears my name, 'cause they're part of my evolution. Oh, my soul keeps growing, it knows when it's time for change. They crash down around me, and I see more clearly, taking baggage I don't need and releasing it. When I wash up yonder, braver, wiser, stronger, I will never be the same. Never be the same. In this moment, there's a perfect seed that will one day spring forth from the self I grieve. And I will step upon its crucible of air, blossoming in my evolution. Oh, my soul keeps growing, it knows when it's time to change. Oh, my soul keeps growing, it knows when it's time to change. Oh, my soul keeps growing, it knows when it's time for change. My evolution, my evolution.
My evolution, your evolution, all our evolutions. Thank you so much. That was a magnificent song and a great way to kick off our Faith in Action series. So welcome to Spiritual Life Center Experience. Welcome to this year's Faith in Action kickoff. And we're talking about the idea that the universe always has a plan. And that's the title of the text that we're reading this year by Matt Kahn. And as we take on this journey of faith in action, some people often ask, what is faith? The word is tossed around a lot. It means many things to many people. Some people think it means to have faith in something outside of themselves, faith in God. And if we have enough faith in God, God will show up and answer our prayers. God will solve our problems. God will meet our needs. God will somehow come to our rescue and show that if we're worthy enough, we're good enough, it will show up in whatever circumstance that we find ourselves in. And sometimes we look at some other people and we say, man, that person over there, man, they got a lot of faith. As if there's a whole lot of faith over there, but not too much faith over here where I am. Well, the fact of the matter is, faith is a spiritual power. It is whole, it is complete. We have all the faith we're ever going to have. The question is, where are we going to direct our faith? If we direct our faith to lack, limitation, and problems, or how negative things are, then what shows up is more lack, limitation, and negativity. But if we focus on what's right, if we focus on what's working, if we focus on what's possible, then that is what shows up, even when we cannot see it. In the Hebrew Bible in 11:1, it says, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Charles Phillips, the co-founder of Unity, said that faith is the perceiving power of mind linked with the ability to shape substance, to shape the invisible. But I always like, the 21st century version of the definition of faith, the James Trapp version. And it says that when you believe in more in what you don't see than what you do see, what you do see, you won't see, and what you don't see, you will see. You see? You see? So here's the idea. We're talking today about you've done nothing wrong. I shared in the earlier service, and I think once before that, as I was going through my own dark nights of the soul and drug rehab, I was in a center. And you go and see a counselor, the first day or two that you're there. And at that time, my life was in a shambles, and I'm thinking, I've done everything wrong. And when you go and speak to the counselor, they ask you a question, something like, well, what's happening? What's on your mind? And I'm saying, well, I'm wondering, why do I do the things that I do? I just keep messing up. There must be something wrong with me. And of course, like counselors will do, they come up and he asks me, tell me more. Tell me more. And I'm saying, well, something like, I'm carrying a lot of guilt from all the mess ups I've had in my life and how I have so much I need to do that I haven't done. And I've been doing so many things wrong with my life. People are telling me, James, he ain't right in the head. And I'm thinking there's something wrong with me. And then, of course, the counselor nods and he's silent. That was not very reassuring. I thought I'd get some feedback, some guidance. And finally, he said something like, consider the possibility. There's nothing that you need to fix about you as to who you are. That there's nothing really missing in you. What if these ideas, these thoughts that you made up and have caused you to believe that you're not enough, what if they're not true? What if they're just part of your journey? And he said, well, think about those questions and then come back and see me next week. And of course, he left me hanging. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that didn't help. But later on, I heard this statement that you may be familiar with, that everything is exactly as it should be. So you've done nothing wrong. But often our minds will try to tell us we're not doing enough, that we need to do more, or there's something wrong with us. And if we accept that, that becomes the image that we have of ourselves, or our self-concept. And our self-concept has a lot to do with how our life will unfold and what our experiences will be. Because no one can go beyond, I believe, their own self-concept. They can't go beyond how you see yourself. It doesn't matter, the talent, the skills, the education. But if we do not see ourselves as worthy, we're not likely to achieve our heart's desires. Or if we do achieve them, it won't last because the foundation is not there. The belief of not good enough or misidentifying who we truly are is not something that's limited just to a few people. I've been noticed over the years that a lot of people feel that somehow, some way, I'm not good enough. It's a pervasive condition, a lot of part of our population. But by accepting that belief of not being good enough, we often fall short of our divine potential that's waiting all the time to be expressed. It happens because our focus and our attention is directing and using our faith power to that which does not serve us. It does not affirm that plan that Spirit has for us, that is always there for us. There was a teacher that came into a class and decided that, he was just going to write on the board some times tables. So he started writing 9 times 1 equals 9, 9 times 2 equals 18. And so he went through all of the times tables until he got to 9 times 10. And he wrote 9 times 10 equals 91. And of course, the class broke out in laughter because he made a mistake. And of course, the answer, is 90. But the students began to make fun of him. But the teacher waited for everyone to be silent. And then he said this: despite the fact I answered 9 problems correctly, no one congratulated me. But when I made one mistake, everybody started laughing and pointing that out. And he went on to say that this means that even if a person is successful 9 out of 10 times, they will often notice the slightest mistake. And the teacher reminded the class that mistakes are part of the process of learning, part of the process of growing. And the person who has never, ever made a mistake in their life is someone, they ain't done nothing. They ain't tried nothing. They have sat back and never ventured forth to try to bring forth the potential within them. Sometimes those on the spiritual path, many of us here, maybe speaking to myself, we work hard on ourselves. And sometimes we see life from a limited perspective of the ego. That's what Chant talks about. I like to call it the unspiritualized ego. Because I think you got to have an ego, but you want to have the ego of the divine, the Christ, the avatars. So oftentimes he talks about we look at it from that limited perspective of the ego, and we keep our attention on what's wrong with us. We keep our attention on the mistakes that we keep making, leading us to shame and blame and regret, rather than what's right about us, what's true about us, what's authentic about us. But we want to come back to the realization that the universe always has a perfect plan for each and every one of us. And as our text points out this week, to capture that perfect plan, we must see life through the lens of our soul, see life through the spiritual lens, which sees the big picture and examines life from that expanded point of view, what I like to call the God's eye point of view. There's a story, a Persian proverb, I should say, about a bug in a rug. Now it sounds to me like it's going to be a Dr. Seuss story, Bug in the rug. I began to hug the bug and then became a thug. Anyway. But the proverb highlights the value of having an expanded perspective. According to the story, there's a little bug. And the little bug crawls around in a rug. And the strands of wool of the rug surround it like it's like giant trees. And the bug keeps bumping into one tree after the other. And the huge strands are everywhere as the bug tries to get this small crumb of food. And all the wool strands seem like huge problems to the bug. Yet if the bug could just raise itself above the rug and look down, see it from the God's eye view, it will be able to see the problems as part of a beautiful woven plan. But the bug cannot do that. But we can see beyond that limited perspective. We can see beyond the limited ego. We can have that expanded point of view, and we can end up much different than that bug in the rug. So we don't have to be like the bug. We can see that everything is here that was happening in our life. It's here to help us. The obstacles, the setbacks, the challenges, the so-called mistakes that we have made are part of our spiritual journey. So we can move out of the limited, unspiritualized ego into the insight of our soul, into the insight of the spirit that is within us. And Kahn points out in his book, if we live from the ego's point of view, we're bound to see life through the eyes of regret. When we regret, the tendency is to blame and to find fault. And mostly the fault we think we bring toward ourselves. But what the ego regrets in outcome, in other words, the ego sees something happen it doesn't like, it's an outcome it doesn't like, the soul rejoices and sees opportunity as it realizes everything is as it should be. And there is a perfectly woven tapestry for our life. You know, as I pointed out during my throes of my own riotous living years ago, and I was at that center. And I always say that was one of the best things I ever did in my life because I had to really take a close look at myself. You know, Emily Cady in Lessons in Truth talks about the idea there comes a point in life we all have to come face to face with the God of our being, which is within us. When I was there, it became clear that, you know, I had developed a lack of self-worth, lack of self-esteem, not feeling good enough, that something indeed was wrong with me. And it was a common thread for many of the people that were there, in fact, probably everyone in some degree. And most of us were viewing our life through the limited perspective that led to shame and blame and regret about what we thought we had done to our lives. In my case, I perceived abandonment by my mother that led to a self-limiting belief that I had done something wrong, that there was something wrong with me, and that affected the trajectory of what was possible in my life. Now, that was my interpretation. That's not necessarily the reality of what happened. And I just accepted that as truth. It was not necessarily the ultimate truth. But my acceptance of this interpretation of events profoundly shaped my self-concept and influenced the trajectory of my life. But here's the thing. As I mentioned, we cannot go beyond the image we have of ourselves, regardless of how much we have, quote, going for ourselves in the external world. As a result of this perception, I was thinking there was something missing in me. And I attempted to fill it up through things, external success that society determines success to be. But no matter how much we get in the outside, as I always like to say, you can never get enough of something you do not need. Just think about that for a minute. So none of that acquisition could overcome my belief of not enoughness within me, or I had done something wrong in my life, or there was something wrong with me. External achievement has nothing to do with if we're enough or not, whether we're worthy or not. That's the unspiritualized ego that our text talks about. But our soul, our spiritual self, our true self, reminds us that we are all original blessings. We're all born worthy. And that worthiness can never leave us no matter what we've done or not done. You know, there's a children's book that I remember reading a while back. And it said, I think the title of the book was, God Don't Make Junk. And the book was a reminder that God created all people in God's image and that no one is unworthy. And that God uses everything in our lives, including our grief, our joy, our losses, our gains, our trials, our tribulations, and triumphs in order for each and every one of us to unleash the full potential and to share the God power that's within us. But if we believe that there's something wrong with us or that we're broken, we'll pay attention to all the evidence that supports the belief and ignore everything we're doing well and what's working in our life. Years ago, I was working at a center, and they were filming a movie across the street. And the name of the movie was Something About Mary. I don't know if you ever watched that movie. It was a pretty good movie. I think they had Dylan and Cameron Diaz and some other people in there that I can't remember. But they were there. Well, we used to see them every day. In fact, we had a chance to have lunch with Cameron Diaz, I think is her name. Anyway, there was a time that they were filming the movie, and it reminded me of how often we focus on our so-called mistakes we have made in life. But I realized as I was watching, they invited us to come and watch a part of it being filmed, that a mistake is just a mistake. That's all, it's just a mistake. So an actor and actress, they could be going through their part and filming the movie, and somehow they mess up, and the director says, cut, let's do it again, take 2. And they get to do it again because all it was a mistake. Often we beat ourselves up for so-called mistakes in our own life that we've made or what we think we've made. And when we do, we are committing mental malpractice. Sometimes we have a fantasy about all the bad things that we've done, or the things that we did not do, or we're doing those things and we're afraid to face the presence of God because we think there's going to be some kind of retribution for our mistakes. So what do we do? Well, maybe I'm speaking to myself. Before God can beat us up, we beat ourselves up in hopes that if God can see me beating myself up, God will have mercy on me. But there is no God like that. You know what I'm talking about? Often we'll engage in negative self-talk, and we'll say things, oh, well, I'm a bad person. I did this. I messed up. Oh, I made a mistake. I'm a sinner. Oh, my God, I'm a failure. But the only failure there is an individual who has given up. And in the process, if we don't ever give up, we begin to lift our attention so that we are constantly saying to ourselves, it's the truth of who we really are, regardless of what's going on. And the basic truth is this: there's nothing wrong with me. I am enough. God did not create junk. God did not create anyone by mistake or accidentally create anything. We must remember that we are the best that God has to offer as far as the Spirit of God is concerned. We must begin to take then time with ourselves. Khan in his book talks about the idea that we have to engage in compassion, but mostly starting with self-compassion, treating ourselves well, affirming ourselves with words we use to speak to ourselves, and also to forgive ourselves that enables us to forgive others. And he talks about the idea that's when our soul is talking to us. That's soul talk. And from that soul talk, we can only see divine solutions, that the power and the sufficiency and the presence of God that's everywhere, and therefore must be where we are and who we are. So we have to see ourselves that way. It has to be our self-concept or how we identify ourselves. So when there's a gap between where we are and where we know we can be, it stems from error or unspiritualized ego thought. And often we are shackled by our negative self-sabotaging thoughts like, I'm not good enough. That leads to behavior that inevitably stops us from fulfilling our purpose. I had read somewhere that we have like 50 thoughts or more a day. I have no idea how they measure that. Do they have some machine they put in somebody's head? It says 50,000 thoughts. Okay, he's filled up his thoughts for the day. But we know no matter how many thoughts we have, some are good and positive thoughts. Others, not so much. And we may have said to ourselves, oh, there's something wrong with me. Or we may imagine some make-believe person saying, "Who do you think you are?" But these statements are like coming from a cruel or brutal person with their mission to destroy our own self-confidence. However, that tyrant comes from within our own minds. Or as Jesus said, our foes are within our own household, within our own minds. And when we infuse those thoughts with energy, they lead to behavior that stops us from achieving our dreams and the fulfillment of our purpose. And oftentimes these thoughts are on autopilot. And we're not consciously aware that we are self-sabotaging ourselves, leading to self-sabotaging behavior that becomes the byproduct of those thoughts. So I have this committee that comes up in my mind from time to time. I don't know if you have one. I got a bunch of committees. They all got names and different functions, but they all do the same thing. They're asking in so many words, who do you think you are? You think you're God's gift to the world? And we have to answer, yes, I am. Yes, I am. We're all God's gift to the world. In fact, to paraphrase Matthew 3:17, it says, "You are my beloved child, whom I am well pleased." So we need to be in constant celebration of that. I don't know what may be going on in your life. I don't know. Sometimes people have relationship challenges with partners, relatives. I don't know sometimes if you're feeling depressed. Sometimes we go through that. I don't know if you have an addiction problem, if you're feeling or being codependent or feel locked in, victimized, or unhappy from time to time. But wherever you are, the experience of noticing that there is something you want to change is really to be celebrated. It's part of our spiritual journey. So we're not trying to get away from any of these thoughts or emotions, but we're seeing and experiencing them differently and not giving them the meaning that's there, that's sometimes wrong about who we really are. Because, we have thoughts, we have emotions, but we are not our thoughts. We are not our emotions. But we're saying, hey, I'm aware of this. It's in me. And I'm going to allow these thoughts and emotions to be released from me, and I am no longer going to resist them or fight them because of my misperception that somehow I'm broken or there's something wrong with me. Because when we fight it, we give it more power. We can evaluate them or reevaluate them and take a look at some of these thoughts and ideas and question them. And we can journal and we can write down the thoughts we're having and process them, reprocess them, reinterpret them through a more intelligent lens, a spiritual lens, a soul lens, a lens that says, oh, it's not true that I don't do anything right. Or there's a long list of things that I need to do right. Rather, we say, I'm okay, I'm better than okay because I come from divine stuff. As I like to say, we got some diviner genes here. There's nothing here to change. We got diviner genes within us. Anyway, I think we're embracing and fully accepting that we are enough as we start out this first week of Faith in Action. That we've done nothing wrong. We are born worthy regardless of our circumstances. It doesn't mean that there aren't things in our life that we want to improve or we want to achieve. Maybe we would like to have more financial prosperity. If we would like that, sure. But does that mean if we don't have it, there's something wrong? No. Would we like to have increased experiences of health? Yes. Is there anything wrong if we don't? No. Do we have lots of thoughts that we can't seem to control, and do they create a lot of emotions that don't feel good? Well, yes, we do from time to time, but does that mean there's anything wrong with us or there's something that we did wrong? No. Are we experiencing anxiety or maybe some depression from time to time? Perhaps that means there's something wrong with us. No, it does not. Years ago, did we make some big mistakes that we now regret? Well, maybe yes, but does that mean there's something wrong with us now? No. Understand that we're good enough. We're loved by the Spirit of the living God, by me, by people around us, by people we don't even know. People who see the truth about us. And you don't have to do anything to be more loved other than be available for what this infinite presence we call God has for us here and now. So we open up that availability when we stop buying into the idea that we're not good enough, or that we're broken, or we've done something wrong. None of that is true. And so the good news is this. We can have our human flaws and doubts. We can have our moments where our minds feel that we're not good enough, realizing it's just a thought, and we can have a new thought, an empowering thought, a divine thought, a thought that God loves us so much that it'll carry over into our vision regardless of any false beliefs that I may have about myself. There's nothing that we could do to take away or add to who we are as inherently expressions of God. We were whole when we came here. We are whole now. We were whole forever. We're never born in original sin, but we're born in original blessings. And when we catch ourselves judging ourselves, we let it go. If we catch ourselves saying, there's something wrong with me, we let it go. And remind ourselves there's nothing wrong with us. We're doing great, and only extraordinary things lie ahead for me in my life. Because we are enough, always have been enough, always will be enough, and you've done nothing wrong. Talk to you next week. Peace and your blessings to you. Well, each week we have an affirmation to carry us throughout the week. And so we have the affirmation on the screen, and I invite you to join in with me as we affirm this affirmation together. Again, let's speak it aloud. I have done nothing wrong. My life unfolds for me to become who I am. My soul is whole and complete. I fly free. I fly free. Well, next week we're going to talk about releasing blame, embrace thankfulness, and we'll have meditation by Reverend Deborah and music for Ann Rhodes, Laurie Shiflett, Lori Wood, and Soul Light Connection. So we invite you to be part of that experience next week. And the color, of course, is orange. We're going through the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. That's how we do it every year in Faith in Action. If you want prayer immediately after the service, look for one of our prayer chaplains that's wearing their white stoles. They'll be available to pray for you in the courtyard. And we appreciate them bringing that high energy and high consciousness. And they'll help you see things from the higher point of view, from the God's eye point of view, and help you move from where you are to the other side of whatever challenge that you're facing. And you don't have to have a challenge. You can pray with someone because you just want to celebrate some good in your life. Sometimes we only turn to God when we have a problem and say, oh my God, I done used up all my energy and all my know-how. I guess I got to turn to God now. You can turn to God all the time, especially when things are going good. So with a prayer chaplain is available to be with you to do that. For those who are online that are new to Spiritual Life Center, want to stay in contact with what's going on at our community, or anyone that wants to stay in contact, you can fill out one of our online welcome cards at slcworld.org. Click the connect button, and it'll take you to the page. You can fill out the welcome card. But more importantly, I want to ask if anyone here for the very first time. Any first-timers here today for the first time? Oh, keep your hand up like nice and high. Thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate you. I hand you out a little pamphlet that tells a little bit about Spiritual Life Center. And also, the gentleman right here. Thank you so much. Did we get everybody? Great. And you can fill out one of the cards and turn it into the welcome table. But more importantly, we just want to affirm your magnificence. We appreciate you being here, and we see you doing great things because we're about helping people grow, develop, unfold into the highest potential that they have. And that's what we're about, and to bring out that which is within you, and because that's what will save us, that power that is within each and every one of us. So we thank you, we appreciate you, and we affirm the magnificence that you are. For those who are online who would like to support Spiritual Life Center with your gift or offering, we thank you for tuning in, and whether you're watching live or a replay, and you can support Spiritual Life Center to help us spread the word of the possibilities of the human spirit. And you can do so by either texting SLC Love to 44321, that's SLC Love to 44321, or go to our website, slcworld.org, click the Donate tab. That'll allow you to give in other ways, including sending a check by mail. So we thank you, we appreciate you, and we behold the magnificence that you are, those who are me watching online. For those who are here today that would like to support Spiritual Life Center with your gift or offering, we invite you to symbolically raise it to the heavens and to know that it represents expansion, expanding good. And if you're already given automatically or through the mail, know that you're part of a principle that says that whatever you give out, it does come back. Maybe from directions you never imagined, from directions you never, and from places that you never thought of. But it's the truth. That is the nature of spirit. It works in a circular motion. So with that awareness, let us affirm our offertory blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
It's all about perspective. Big picture, small picture. Sometimes we can't see the forest through the trees. Perhaps we just need different eyes. Yeah, yeah. The book fell from the shelf, picked it up and it was open to the part that my heart read. Am I speaking to myself? Am I listening to my heart? Am I waiting for a sign? Maybe I was needing you to tell me, oh, maybe I've been blind once upon a time, oh, but now I see through different eyes. Only love remains perfectly the same through different eyes. Hey, hey. No mystery in love. Take it down and look it up. Turn it over. It's no big deal. Is it ever really wrong? Is it really ever right? Is it ever what it seems? I don't know what else to say. Tell me, oh, maybe I've been blind once upon a time, oh, but now I see through different eyes. Only love remains perfectly the same through different eyes. Yeah, I know you even in the dark by the beating of your heart. No matter where you maybe I was blind once upon a time, oh, but now I see through different eyes. Only love remains perfectly the same through different eyes. Here's to me and you. There's no win or lose. We can see the truth through different eyes. Only love remains perfectly the same through different eyes. Oh, hey, Gwen Pearl.
Different eyes. If we see things from a different perspective, we see things differently. So thank you for reminding us that we can see life through different eyes. We simply start off by blessing those who have blessed us with their gift or offerings, whether today or through the mail or online, to provide a place for those who are seeking to grow and develop and unfold into the very best that they're here to be. For we're here to grow into that divine expression that we've come here to express, knowing that each of us have gifts and talents and capabilities, and we're in a place that will nurture that so that we can make the world a better place and create a world that works for all. So we bless those who have blessed us with their support. We also bless those who have left their prayers in the prayer box today or throughout the week. For we're reminded all of us in this thing called life have bumps in the road, challenges, setbacks, difficulties, things that we cannot figure out in our own accord through our own might and power and know-how. And in those moments, we simply realize that there is a magnificent presence that's bigger than our problems, bigger than our concerns, bigger than our challenges that we have. And as I like to say, when we have a challenge, we never tell the challenge, never tell God how big our problems are. We tell our problems how big our God is. God is bigger than any problem or challenge that we face because it is in all, knows all, and is above all. And as we make that the activity of our life and our awareness, divine and perfect spiritual solutions and answers come to and through us. So we put our faith in that, and then we begin to see the results. Miracles seem to happen. We begin to have transformation. We begin to have healings. We have upliftment. And we begin to see the possibilities that are there for us because the Spirit of living God has a perfect plan for us, our life, and our world. And we are one with that. And for that, we are grateful and thankful as we go forth, multiplying, amplifying our faith energy in this presence and see it bring us from where we are to where we can be when we are at our highest and our best. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Amen. With that, let us join in as we affirm our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. Let's sing our peace song together. Great day, great week. Hang around for some post-service music. And know that Spirit is with you always.